2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee air suspension. What a joke. Anyway, right here, this one here, you got a relay for air suspension for the compressor. My suspension was staying on because I got the line disconnected and drained my battery down. So inside here is a green relay, and there's where the compressor relay is at, okay? The compressor itself is in the right front wheel well in the front. So you need to remove the tire, which is a 7/8 lug nut. Remove this inner fender skirt. It's got a 10 down the bottom and a bunch of fasteners. They all break. There's another 10 somewhere else, but I don't remember because I took it apart a couple days ago. So you just take this thing and lift it up, and the compressor's inside here. I was gonna unbolt mine, but my screws are stuck inside the little spacers, so I had to cut it. So, but anyway, if you want to eliminate it totally and still have the suspension up in the air, then you'll need, so if you're going to eliminate it totally, just making an air shock system, then you'll need to splice the two lines to the front together and the two lines to the back together, and then run your line up into your engine compartment. You can hook up your air line to put air in it. You'll need a T, the quick fasteners push on, and then a Schrader, because inside here's a Schrader valve. You can put air in, just like a tire. All right, because you want to splice the two together in the front, splice the two together in the back. And what you'll do, you come over here to the compressor, there's a valve block, and it is marked. It says right rear, left front, right front, and left rear, okay? LRF. So you want to grab the two front ones, that'd be the blue and the yellow, and you want to cut them and put that T in there and route your wire up into the engine compartment, not your wire, but your other air line up in the engine compartment, and do the same thing for the rear. That'd be the green and the white. That's if you want to do it this way. Now I'm going to try another used compressor and put it in there and see how that works. This is got nitrogen in it, so it's a closed system. There's a tank in the back inside underneath the seat, I believe. And this is the intake line from the compressor, not the compressor, from the nitrogen tank. So that'd be the last one to remove. I disconnected my lines from it, and it might have leaked it all out. I don't know yet. I've heard I can just put regular air in it, but the problem is getting it up to 200 PSI. So I'm gonna swap it out with that one and see if I can get air in it to work. And if I can't get this to work, then I'm just gonna have to see if I can sell it to go back the old-fashioned air shock way. Okay? Okay, my nitrogen all leaked out. Be careful if your system is still under pressure. It comes in right here from the tank and goes down to the compressor right here, which would be right there. Comes into right here, but it's on the back side, so it'll be this one right here. This is when it comes in from the tank, goes up to on here, and it changes to a white hose. Okay, so that one's under pressure. So if you remove this one, then you'll leak all your fluid, nitrogen out if it's under pressure. Gotta be careful. So what you need to do is loosen up and bleed it out slowly and go do something else when you start hearing it leak out. What I did was I cut my these pieces. I got two of the apart, but this one wouldn't come apart, so I had to cut it. I removed the compressor by itself. That's because these bracket bolts, nuts, would not come off. I was gonna try to take it apart in pieces, but now I'm gonna try to get these nuts off. They're up behind there, behind the bumper. And when you remove your air lines, if you're taking them off, make sure you tape them and mark them before you take them off, so you don't lose where they go to. All right, always mark everything. Okay, I got my 3 nuts off. Now this thing's hanging, and then you want to disconnect the block connector. It's just like a Volkswagen. You got to push in on this, the black part, with a screwdriver, so it raises the tab up. And make sure you push it on first to relieve the tension. And now all I got is the bracket and the block. So now all you got to do is make sure you tag all your lines before you remove them. I just noticed, because I'm blind, that they do have color-coded tape on them already. So just make sure yours do have it. If you don't, you need to mark it. Okay, I got all my lines off, all my connectors out, the whole thing's out. Okay. So now I'm gonna get my new used one in there. Put some anti-seize on my threads so my nuts can go on a lot easier. Get it bolted in there, and then I'll start working with my lines and my connectors. Okay. All right, got my lines in. Remember, the block is just plastic, and make sure you put them in straight. Put a little bit of penetrant on them, let them soak in, twist the fittings before you get them started. And when you get them in there, make sure they're straight, and you can thread them in a couple turns. If you just thread them in a turn and then they stop, look at them. Make sure they're not twisted, crooked. But if you thread them in a couple turns and they look good, then you can thread them all the way in. And remember, it's just going in the plastic. So just snug them down, don't bear down on them, and make sure you're using a 12mm wrench. Forgot to tell you what size. I got all my lines hooked up. Now all I need to do is hook up my electrical. And I got a vent right here I gotta hook up. So, see how that all goes. Okay, I put my cover in. I just put one fastener on it, and I put my wheel on. I'm gonna lower it down, and I'm gonna get access to the tank. I heard it's in underneath the back seat. I'll check it out. I'll let you know. Okay, put your relay back in. Open up both your back doors. Tilt your seats forward. I removed the rear trunk compartment cover. Remove this panel. Goes over the top of that. You just pull on it, clips up. Underneath there is the tank. Over on that side is the line that connects to it. And over here is the fill fitting. And I just put air in it. Air has what, 80%, 70% nitrogen in it already anyway. So I hooked up my air hose with that to my filler on my AC gauges. Used my 134 fitting for low side, connected it down there. And then I pushed this on there, and I filled it all the way up, shut my valve, shut all my doors, had my window down, started it up, put it on rock position. It raised the vehicle all the way up. And then when I did that, it took a lot of my air. So what then I did was bled out my system on my air compressor so the compressor turns back on. And as the compressor is going, I hooked it back up, opened my valve up, and filled it all the way back up. So that way I know the tank is full. Maybe I shouldn't have done it all the way like that. I don't know, but I filled it 2 times. And so when I shut my doors again, I went over here and I turned it to normal. Turned it to normal, and I went to normal, and I only got 2 little lights on. Okay, so to me, and it lowered down to regular height, so to me it's working properly. So we're gonna send it like that, and if it doesn't go any better with that, then I'll have to take it to the dealer and spend big bucks, or we'll just put the T-fitting in the front and T-fitting in the rear and just do it manually like old shock days. All right, so far it's working just with air, but there's the filler. Fits right in there a little tight, but I got it. Okay, that's it. If I helped you out with this video, that's awesome. If you can help me out by subscribing, I appreciate it. Thank you.